Clorox knows you want your clothes smelling fresh and clean, but so what happens? That's why we created Clorox fabric sanitizers to freshen up your clothes between washes, pre-treat extra stinky laundry, and make sure every last odor comes out in the wash. Clorox fabric sanitizers take care of all that and eliminate 99% of odor-causing bacteria. Plus, they're bleach-free and safe for all colors and fabrics. When it counts, trust Clorox.
Live from Southern California, this is the Jim Rome Show.
Back at the start of the NFL season, I had said at that time that the one thing that I was not going to do was a weekly update on Tom Brady v. Bill Belichick. I mean, certainly it was one of the most famous breakups of all time. And like any breakup, you want to make damn sure that your ex is not doing better than you are. You want to make sure that your ex does not end up with somebody better than you. You want to do everything in your power to make sure that the ex knows that he or she made the wrong decision, picked the wrong person. You'll do everything in your power to come out of it better than you ever were when you were in it. Of course, like who hasn't been there? Everybody has been there. And Brady and Belichick were no different. I just was not going to chronicle it or scoreboard it every freaking week. Now, again, this was no ordinary breakup. This was a highly publicized and multi-layered breakup. A legacy-type breakup. A breakup that would determine which guy, Brady or Belichick, was actually the one more responsible for all the success. I mean, even that in and of itself was kind of a dumb idea, though, right? Tom Brady is not winning 6 rings without Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is not winning 6 rings without Tom Brady. But this is why, in part, I was not going to do weekly updates on the standings, comparing the Patriots and the Bucs from week to week, and then updating some stupid 2-man power ranking. It's a good thing, too, because for the second half of that season, the power ranking would have been the most idiotic thing ever. Because while the Patriots were looking more and more anemic on offense and getting smoked by the Rams and the Bills, the Bucs started to roll. And now they're in the Super Bowl. I would say scoreboard, but Belichick and the Pats aren't even on the same scoreboard as Brady and the Bucs. In fact, at this point, they're not even playing the same sport. But that doesn't mean that Brady is done talking about his time in New England. Even if he didn't know, even if he did not know, Michigan man that he is, even if he didn't even know where New England actually was.
My kids were born in Boston. You know, I have great affection for the city, the everything that Boston has meant to me and my family. And all of New England, not just Boston. I didn't even know where New England was when I got picked by New England. That was always a funny story. They called me and they said, "Oh, you've been picked by New England." And I was like, "That's amazing. Where's New England?" And landed in Providence, which really screwed me up because that's not even in Massachusetts.
This guy goes, oh, like he's told the story a million times. Oh, that was always a funny story. Not really, Tom. Funny to who? I'm sorry, are you Tom Brady or Miss Teen USA South Carolina?
I believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future.
Where's New England?
Such as, therefore, consequently, the Iraq. You didn't know where the New England was when you were drafted?
Massachusetts.
How the hell is that possible? Yeah, I got drafted by New England. It was amazing. Oh, here's that funny story. Like, I got drafted by the New England. I love tea and crumpets. I can't wait to meet the Queen. And then he's saying that he got confused because the plane landed in Rhode Island. And this is the greatest quarterback in NFL history. I thought you had to be smart to be a quarterback. How is this dude reading defenses when he can't even read a map? How is that possible? But if he was goofing around on that answer, or if he really did not know where the New England was, he certainly knew what he was saying when he talked about playing for the Bruce Arians. So get ready for some serious subtext.
He's a great man. He's a great leader. He's a great person. He's, a great friend. He's very loyal. He's just got a great way about communicating effectively with everybody around here. And everybody has a great affection for him, for the person he is. There's nobody that ever would say anything bad about BA. He's so endearing to everybody. And I think everyone wants to win for him. And I think that's what coach, what's what you want to do for a coach, is you want to get out there and you want to win for him. And he puts a lot into it, expects a lot out of it. Has high expectations for us every day of practice, and just really excited for him to be recognized in the way that he is. I know he's two-time coach of the year, but just done an amazing job this year with the team in really adverse situations, and just, love playing for him.
What an amazing response. I mean, this guy, he's the GOAT. I have immense respect for Tom Brady. Don't get that twisted. But that nerd never says anything about anything, ever. But ask him about his new coach, and all of a sudden he's the most interesting guy ever, and the most lucid guy ever, and the most eloquent guy ever. A freaking orator now. Did you hear that? You could practically hear the "unlike that bitter old man I used to play for" at the beginning and end of every single sentence, and sometimes in the middle of sentences. Quote, "He's a great man. He's a great leader. He's a great person. He's a great friend. And he's very loyal." End of quote. Unlike my bitter old coach, who really is none of those things. Quote, "He's just got a great way about communicating effectively with everybody around here." End quote. Unlike that old dude in the hoodie. Quote, "Everybody has great affection for him, for the person he is." End quote. Unlike some people, no names mentioned, rhymes with Will Welichek. Quote, "There's nobody that ever would say anything bad about BA." End quote. Yeah, unlike BB. There are lots of people who will say bad bleep about that dude. Quote, "He's just so endearing to everybody, and I think everyone wants to win for him." End quote. Yeah, I don't even have to say anything about that one, because nobody thought that the hoodie was endearing. And I wanted to win in spite of him, not for him. Quote, "I think that's what you want to do for a coach. You want to get out there and you want to win for him." End quote. Damn, I hated that old dude in New England. Wherever that is. Quote, "He puts a lot into it, expects a lot out of it, has high expectations for us every day in practice, and I am just really excited for him to be recognized in the way that he is." End of quote. Yeah, that old guy that I used to play for, he gets way too much credit. How did it work out for him without me? Quote, "I know he's a two-time coach of the year, but he's just done an amazing job this year with the team in really adverse situations." End quote. Yeah, that other dude, he didn't do too well in adverse situations this year, did he? 7-9. Man, you know what he's thinking. He's thinking, you still think you can do better than me. You still think that you can do it without me. You still think it's about the system and not the players in the system. Okay. Where are you and where am I right now? Right. Now tell me how my ass tastes. Hope that was worth it, old man. Even though you and I both know that it was not. Well, it was for me. Quote, "I love playing for him." End quote. And I don't think that I need to explain that one.
Love playing for him.
Look, bottom line, I'm not looking to start anything here. But then again, I don't have to, because Brady started it and then finished it. He spelled it out for everybody to see. And it's not just Brady with his thoughts on Brady's time in New England. Don't forget, it was earlier this month that Bruce Arians spoke to Peter King, and then he chimed in on the differences between New England and Tampa Bay. Arians said Brady is, quote, "the consummate leader, has been all year, got the air of confidence that permeates through our team every day. I allow him to be himself, like New England didn't allow him to coach. I allow him to coach. I just sit back sometimes and I watch," end quote. Let me read that last part again one more time. New England didn't allow him to coach. I allow him to coach, end quote. It's a hell of a line right there. Hell of a line right there. And I see Arians working. Sure, the old guy back there had a great run with my guy, But if he had done right by him, they would still be together, stacking dubs, maybe even another Lombardi or two, and building an even greater legacy. But he didn't. And that's why he's here and he's no longer there, because I get the guy. And I get what he brings to it. And I let him be him. And we all benefit from it. And I don't constantly hit him over the head with, no one here is bigger than the system. Nobody here gets treated differently. You're all exactly the same. Yeah, no. Our culture is completely different, and it's because of one guy, the quarterback. Like Arians all but said, it's completely different here because of one man, and that one man ain't me. It's that avocado ice cream eating freak over there. He's the reason everything changed here, not me, and I know that. But that old guy in the hood, he doesn't know that, and that's why they no longer work together. That dude with the rings, he didn't know what he was doing. He had it all wrong. The guy that you call the greatest coach of all time, he did not know how to do it in the end. Me, I know what I'm doing. This way is the right way. So no, I was not going to update that divorce scoreboard every single week during the regular season. It would have been the lamest, most tedious thing ever. But I've got no problem doing it right now. And right now that scoreboard shows Brady kicking Belichick's ass, up 7 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter and running flea flickers and trying to drop a C note on his ass. And while I have no dog in this fight, I mean, I really don't care about either of these guys. I can't say that I'm not entertained by this. I mean, who's not going to stop and gawk after a colossal breakup? Who doesn't want to see which side comes out better? Again, everybody in the history of the world has been through this. These two just happen to be doing it on the biggest stage ever.
Where's New England?
Where's New England? There is your divorce update. First one of the year. 1-800-636. Honey, John, consider that a divorce.
After
Honey.
all, we're married.
Consider that a divorce.
Consider that a divorce.
Still cool. Still makes me laugh every single time. Sharon Stone in all her glory. Honey. Bam! So, are you craving some protein after a good workout? You know you are. This time, though, don't make a shake. Don't eat a bar. Grab a bag of beef jerky from Old Trapper. Why Old Trapper? Because Old Trapper beef jerky is tasty and tender, and it's made with real strips of steak in quality spices that are smoked over a wood fire. Old Trapper is a family-owned business. They take their smoked beef extremely seriously, and you can taste it in every single bite. Like, who wants dried, tough beef in a bag? Nobody. Old Trapper, though, is the real deal, and it comes in 4 amazing flavors. Old-fashioned, teriyaki, peppered, hot and spicy. So the next time you want a great protein and energy snack that you can have anytime, anywhere, grab some Old Trapper beef jerky. Look for Old Trapper in the Clearview bag. You can see the quality you're buying that way. Look for it in major retail stores near you. If you don't see it, ask for it by name, because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what's your beef? As promised, we're joined right now by a 2-time Super Bowl champion. An AP National Coach of the Year, a national champion as a head coach, a national champion as a player, a Fox Sports analyst, a member of the College Football Hall of Fame, a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2020. He appears today courtesy of Michelob Ultra. He is Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy, it's been a while, but it is so good to have you on the show. Jimmy, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Jim. Hey, you forgot about Broadcasting Hall of Fame with Fox NFL Sunday.
My man, I hate to leave that out. Also a member of the Broadcasting Hall of Fame with Fox NFL Sunday. Now we're good, Jimmy. Now we're covered. Listen, it's been a little while. It's been over a year since you received the news that you were going to be a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Can you take me back to that moment? What do you remember about that?
Well, Jim, it's interesting because I was thinking there was a chance that I would get in, but you never know until, they tell you. And our producer, Bill Richards, he had me talking about, we're going into halftime. It was a playoff game, Seattle and Green Bay. He said, I want you to talk about Seattle's defense. And I got a video, I want you to study the video. So my mind was a million miles away. When it didn't happen in pregame, I'm thinking, well, if it's going to happen, it'll happen next week or so, if it's going to happen. And so, I'm thinking about Seattle's coverage against Green Bay's receivers. And all of a sudden, David Baker walks out. and I stopped breathing. And and so he tried to talk to me. I couldn't even talk because I didn't have any breath. And just to see